Are those my skis? All right, everybody, welcome back to another Advantage Survival podcast. This is episode number 30. Oh man, I can't believe it. 30 episodes. Hey, we're going on our 6th year of podcasting here at the Advantage Survival Studios. And man, we couldn't have done it without you guys. I really want to thank my fans for supporting the show and keeping this thing going. All right, today we are heading down to Ashford, Washington, just outside of the Longmire entrance to Mount Rainier National Park. My daughter Shayla and myself, my daughter Shayla being the sound technician today, we're heading down there to talk to Tony Abruzzo and Dave Stonington of the Mount Tahoma Trails Association. Yeah, those guys are some awesome volunteers down there and with an unbelievable program. We're going to talk about the hut system, the ski trails, and of course, yeah, ski patrol. All right, but before we do, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, nwhomesforsale.net. My incredible wife, Kelly, is an amazing realtor and global property specialist serving the fine people of the Pacific Northwest and folks around the globe. With her worldwide referral network of over 100,000 agents, she can help you find a great agent near you. Whether you're buying or selling your home or looking for that perfect homestead, Kelly will help you achieve your real estate goals. So check her out at her website, nwhomes4sale.net. I'll have a link in the show notes. All right, it's time to grab that cup of coffee and Dunkin' Donut and enjoy my conversation with Tony Abruzzo and Dave Stonington. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to you, Les.
Let's talk a little bit about who you guys are and what you do.
Well, Les, I have been a member of Mount Tahoma Trails now for 25 years, since the very beginning of it. I am the ski patrol director right now and also the vice president of Mount Tahoma Trails. I've also had other positions as the treasurer and been on the board of directors and a hut manager. So being around 25 years, I've fallen into a few different jobs. But my love right at the moment is the ski patrol, because it is such an important task for our organization. Our organization right now, we have about somewhere around 250, 300 members in there.
Wow, that's a lot.
It really is, but we actually have well over 1,000 people use our trail system every year. Actually, that figure comes up to closer to 2,000 if you count the day users. 1,000 is just the overnight stayers there, so it's quite popular. We have 3 huts, and we call them huts, but most people would call them a house. Our new snowball hut that we just finished building this year holds 14 guests and 4 ski patrollers in there. That's what we allow every year, but it cost us well over $150,000 to build this hut. So they're more than a hut. Our concept was more for, at the very beginning, 25 years ago, we looked at building a hut system similar to what they have in the Alps, hut to hut, where you could ski from hut to hut. And we built 2 huts over on the South District and 2 huts over in the North District, so that you could go from hut to hut. But reality of it is that most people would come up and just stay in one hut. Very, very few actually skied from hut to hut unless they did it just as a day ski. But they wouldn't stay one night at High Hut and the next night at Snowball. It's just more convenient to stay in one instead of packing up again. But the system is fantastic. It's beautiful up here. Our elevation is a little over 4,000 feet, between 4,000 and 5,000 feet. And generally, we've got skiable snow from about the 1st of December through up in April. And I've actually skied up there in July. So, yeah, you know, and the best skiing, which skiing drops off probably around mid-March to 1st of April. But you find it's more beautiful up there in April because you got longer days, warmer days, and you know the skiing is just fantastic. But that's my opinion.
Sure, no, it's beautiful. Well, Dave, how did you find Mount Tahoma Trails Association?
Yeah. Thanks for coming, Les.
You're welcome.
I'm Dave Stonington. I'm a retired physician, live in Seattle, and retired 3 years ago and was looking for fun things to do, and I've enjoyed skiing my whole life. And but it had never been on a patrol, and I got wind of the Mount Tahoma Trails Association and came down here and was involved in what was going on and joined the patrol. And so as my third year now, I'm really happy that I got that opportunity. So at any rate, got wind of the patrol and came down here and got immediately attached to it and have enjoyed it tremendously ever since. It's not a particularly difficult thing to do. We're only required to spend 1 day per month for the 4 very active months doing our patrol, and for me it's been a delight to get to do much more than that. Because of my medical background, I've really enjoyed the whole process of safety and looking how we can keep people safe on the trail. And we've had lots of opportunities over the last 3 years that I've been here where people have had circumstances, some fairly dire. Most of them are what we all get, the blisters and the cuts and the falls and sprains. And so that part of patrolling has been great fun, and it's a very well organized group, and so we're happy to have you talk about us.
You bet. Now, I've been to the Copper Creek Hut. Absolutely amazing work that's gone on up there, replacing that after the fire. And as part of search and rescue, I've spent some time up at High Hut and Snowball. And I think I've been to the yurt a few times, and through the South District. But it's just a phenomenal amount of trails and things to look at when you're doing cross country skiing or snowshoeing or whatever you're planning to do when you come up here. What as far as volunteers, people joining the Mount Tahoma Trails Association, how do you guys get your funding? How do you manage to come up with the cash to maintain what the offices, the huts, and all of that's there?
Our funds basically come from 3 different sources there. Membership fees, which is quite nominal. They're $25 a year. Grants, which is a big part of what we do. I mean, even Snowball Hut, 100,000 of that 150,000 came from grants. The Mountaineers, the Tacoma Mountaineers, gave us 75,000 themselves there, and donations. Every year we have our gala, which is usually the first week in November, is when you can first make your reservations for the weekend or for the hut system for the winter. And we have our gala at the REI store in Seattle, which, by the way, they let us use their store for that, which is very, very nice of them. But REI and Whitaker's over here in Ashford, give us money constantly, just, grant money there for different things. REI supplied most of our first aid equipment free of charge there. Wow. So we have a lot of favorable people that enjoy what we do and how we do it. But the 3 sources, as I said, there are grants, our membership fees, and donations. At the gala, we received almost $11,000 just in donations right there. That's amazing. It is. It really is. The people appreciate what we've done here. And when you talk about the volunteers, we probably have a core group of about 60 volunteers that keep the system going. Everything that we do, of course, is non-paid. I mean, we're just volunteering to do it. But when you talk about building the huts, clearing the trails, grooming the trails, and the ski patrol, it's just the dedicated volunteers that keep this organization alive.
Yeah, that's really amazing. So As far as we just had a big windstorm. I don't know how it affected things down here, but it had to be, it had to be pretty strong, I would think, coming up from the south here. Obviously there's probably a lot of trail maintenance and stuff that has to go on, and probably happening today too.
Right at the moment, we actually have people up on the South District at Snowball and High Hut that are out there cutting trees.
Did any of the huts or yurt or Snowball or anything like that, did they get damaged?
No.
Good.
Our huts, the only damage that we've ever really serious seen, of course, was when Snowball burnt down. But the yurt is collapsed once under the snow load, and when we rebuilt it, it's never going to happen again. But that was one of them years when our snowcat broke down, and usually with the yurt, we drive the snowcat around it so that the snow off the roof will slough off. But this year the snowcat broke down, and the snow was one of them years where we had 10 feet of snow and it just caved it in. So that's a problem. Our equipment is very, very important to us. We have 3 snowcats now. We have 2 over here on the north side, Piston Bully 60 and an LMC. And on the south side, we got a Piston Bully 100. It's a brand new machine that we just got, how many years ago, I guess? 4 years ago that we had, once again, it was another one of them systems where it cost us $150,000. And, that money came from donations and grants there. And, of course, our snowmobiles, I think we have 8 snowmobiles right now, and each one of them run around $10,000 each. We had one stolen from us last year, and
that's a shame. As far as ski patrol goes, I mean, you have some snowcats and you have some snowmobiles. Is that equipment that you guys would utilize in your daily operations for ski patrol?
We discourage the ski patrollers from using any of the equipment for ski patrolling. No, the snowmobiles and the snowcat are basically there for grooming. But they are there for emergency. Just last year I had to snowmobile somebody out who had a shoulder injury up there. And I think Dave did also out there. That seems to be one of our more common problems right at the moment with the I think we had 2 of them last year. Then people sledding off the side of the hill on a sled, and when you get down to the bottom of it, how do they stop? They grab a tree. Well, guess what happens when you grab a tree?
Well, that's not going to work very well.
No. So, but no, the equipment is for the grooming the trails and for emergencies. And now the ski patrollers, they're out there, just skiing or snowshoeing. That I want to bring up that point too. A lot of people think that as a ski patroller you have to be some kind of a superstar. Well, not in our world here. They're in cross country skiing. It's laid back. We don't do any weird, wild stuff out there. We're very calm, if you will, and you don't have to be an expert skier to be a ski patroller. You just got to be able to ski, period. Most of our trail system are gentle. The south or the north side is really, really gentle there. The south side can be a little bit hard, but it's maneuverable there. But you can be a ski patroller and just be a snowshoer. You don't have to have skis. Snowshoer is fine there. So,
how many ski patrollers do you have?
Right at the moment, I have probably about 80 on the books there. Not everybody is as dedicated as everybody else there, but I've got a good 80 on the books right now, and our requirement of just being one night a month, so it's not very demanding with that many people. A full weekend, which I prefer to have, or I try to encourage my ski patrollers to come out and stay overnight on Saturday nights, because that's our busiest time there. But it takes 12 patrollers to fill our system up on a Saturday night.
Well, that's going to keep you busy though, right?
Yeah, it is, and that's the fun part.
So how do you choose which district to go to?
It's really just personal preference and where the need is. And so we have a very easy to use system in which we can sign up for dates. We share those online so we know who's where. And if there's a need in another place, we assign it to that place.
And I imagine I noticed on your website that you guys have online booking. You can figure out what nights to stay. So that probably helps you guys figure out, where to put the resources.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
What we do with having people in the huts is we're not there to impose in any way. We're there for safety, for questions. We like to encounter people that are there and be helpful and share safety ideas. And of course, if there's anything that happens, we're right there and able to take care of it. We all carry radios. There are excellent radios in all of the huts, including the yurt, with special equipment that allows communication with this base and other help as we need it. And that's been a fantastic asset to have.
So along those lines, if I'm a ski patroller and I'm heading up to a hut to spend the night, what type of gear would I need to have with me? Do you guys have a basic gear list or standard equipment list that you require your ski patrollers to carry?
Yes, we do. We're really talking about your 10 essentials, but yes, here in the office we have ski patrol packs that, the ski patroller, most ski patrollers have their own gear to start with there. But if they don't, they can come here and all the equipment that they could possibly want or need is right here in the office, be it a bivy sack, first aid kits, headlamps,
all the basic things you would need. Sure.
All the 10 essentials that you would need to take up on the trail: cook stoves, pots and pans. It can get a little heavy after a while.
Well, I imagine. Well, after years of carrying a backpack, in search and rescue, I certainly know the pain of carrying heavy loads. So
yeah. One of the
trying to make it easy.
One of the things that I try to encourage when people are going out together is maybe sharing some of the loads. And one carries the pots and somebody else carries the stoves, because you don't need two of them up there if you're going to be together as a ski patroller. And that being said, too, is I try and get people to pair up when they go up there. I don't like to see people going out by themselves. Not that I won't let them, but I prefer people team up together when they go out there, because even a ski patroller can get hurt.
Yeah. Do you guys? I know being on the trail system myself, I don't recall seeing any areas that are huge avalanche dangers. But is there any real avalanche dangers on some of the some of the trails?
There is only one spot in our 20-odd miles of trails up here where I would be slightly concerned, and that's behind the yurt by Griffith Mountain. That's the only place that I've ever seen actually avalanche there. So I discourage people from going back in that area. But the rest of it, there might be a hillside that's 20 feet high, and the worst that's going to happen is going to slough down and hit you on the feet there, but it's not going to be burying
major avalanche. Sure.
Yeah. In essence, there is no major avalanche danger if people stay on the trails.
Right.
There are some trails that are not groomed and do require advanced ability and navigation, where if you didn't know how to follow that trail in quotes because it's not clear and not well marked in the winter, got in by an avalanche area. This is on the south side below High Hut. And so that particular spot is one that's worried us over this last few years. But we've got good signage. We warn people not to go there. We have signs that let them know when they're entering a dangerous area. We've got it on all of our maps. And so we think that the avalanche danger at the huts is very, very low and not something that should scare people away.
Yeah, no, that's good. I know in search and rescue, we used to go out in all kinds of crazy areas around the state, and certainly in a lot of avalanche areas. And, we were always carrying, avalanche beacons, probe pole, shovel, and all the training that goes with it. So it's good to hear that it's a little more relaxed here. And more folks can get up here and enjoy themselves and see the hut system.
Yeah, I really don't think this is terrain in which people need to carry beacons, shovel, or probe. We carry those, but it's not necessary for people that are coming to the huts.
People that are heading up to the huts, the general public, basically, anybody can head to a hut, but if you're going to stay the night, you need to, obviously reserve that. But what is some trail etiquette people should be, at least have some knowledge of when they're heading up on a trail system?
Our trail etiquette is we groom the trails for the skiers, and we ask our snowshoers to stay off to the side. That's really the extent of it. And, of course, no littering. But really, if you're snowshoeing, it's really painful to see people walking 4x4 up the hill there. Just single line up the side is perfectly fine. And, it's good. So that the groomed trails are for the skiers there. There
are always a number of people that come up just in boot climbing. And that punishes the trail even more. People are very considerate about it, though, and we just encourage them to stay to one side and make their own trail along the edge of the trail. It's very easy to do, and it's obvious, so it's not a big thing. But the etiquette there is not walking back and forth across the trail where it's been groomed.
Sure, I know. Just recreating up here, it is absolutely beautiful, and the work that the volunteers put into it, you guys put into this trail system, hut system here, is just amazing. And people, it's good to see that people respect that and try to take care of things up here by not littering and doing those kinds of things. It's sad to hear that you lost a sled, though. That's a shame. Hopefully the good folks at the sheriff's office here can find them.
Actually, we did find our sled. It was at the bottom of a cliff that they ran it off of, and it's in the repair shop right now, and we expect about a $1,500 bill to get it repaired. And can't explain the logic behind something like that, because they didn't take it home. They just drove it off a hill.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Just another little note about etiquette is that always comes up is dogs. And it's actually a mixed rule there. On our north side, dogs are not allowed because of the ownership of the property. On the south side, they are, and the request is control at all times and respect for other guests and wildlife. And none of the huts are they allowed in. So we can't have dogs in the huts for obvious reasons, cleanliness and allergy of other guests and
sure.
The usual.
If I was skiing on a trail and I twisted my ankle, say I'm a mile or two in, what is the procedure for me to get help? Let's say a ski patroller finds me. What would be the process for helping me out, getting me out?
Well, the ski patroller, of course, would have a base radio or the radio with them so that they could, if it was a matter of you couldn't help yourself, then we can call for help. We've number of times we've had Medic 1 come on up to the, to the trailhead to take somebody out. And we do have the snowmobiles up there, and just about all the ski patrollers are qualified to operate the snowmobile, so that they can put you up on a snowmobile, and we have a sled here that we can, if you need to be laid down. I think the second year that I was here, I've actually had to ski somebody out on a sled where the snowmobile driver had the front of the sled and I skied behind him with the back of the sled. But those are very seldom there. Most of the problems are just minor issues there. But you were talking about how could you get a hold of somebody if you were injured and there wasn't a ski patrol around. Saturdays and Sundays, sorry, our office is only open on Saturdays and Sundays, but we do have a commercial radio channel that we monitor all the time, Channel 7 on the radio, which is this radio right here. And if you were out on the trail system and you had one of those portable radios.
Are you talking like an FRS type radio?
Yes,
okay,
FRS Channel 7.
Okay.
We monitor here, and if you called us on that and said that you were in need, had a problem or whatever, we would send emergency help out or call one of the patrollers that were out on the field and tell them to come down and find you and see what you needed.
Boy, that's good to know. It's handy. Most people these days carry the FRS and
Right.
GMRS radio, so that's good to know. Channel 7.
Channel 7.
Cell phones don't work.
I discovered that. I was going to turn mine off here before we started the interview, but I didn't have to. Nobody's going to call me here, so. And somebody's calling now, it looks like. All right, so, what do I need to do? Say I wanted to be a ski patroller. What would I need to do? How do I volunteer? And look at it, he's grabbing paperwork right now. There it is.
There it is right there. First of all, you need to contact, one of us within the organization. You have to join MTTA. Fill out this paperwork. This is the training that we provide right here for our ski patrollers. We give first aid and CPR training to our people. We give out avalanche training.
Do you do the first aid CPR right here from the fire station? Or?
Actually, we were the training this year was conducted at the fire station in, where was it at? Yelm. We do it at one of the fire stations, whether it's at Yelm here or in Gig Harbor. We've done it there.
Okay.
But yes, we do first aid and CPR training, and it's free. And trail navigation, we go over the maps and the UTM maps, FRS and GPS radios. Landowner community relations. That's somewhat of a delicate situation,
Sure.
if you will, there. The south side is actually owned by DNR, and the north side by the land trust. Okay, the land trust people want us to be quiet, if you will. They don't like us using our equipment any more than we need to because it's bothering to the animals.
Sure.
But DNR, they're a lot more lenient as far as our equipment goes there. Another thing that in the summertime, our South District, we allow people to go up there and hike and bike up there. And you can use the huts in the summertime over there. On the north side, the land trust people don't want us using it in the summertime. There.
Okay.
We're very grateful to the Nisqually Land Trust for them allowing us to use the trails in the winter and have a hut up there. And so this has been a great partner for us in recreation in this part of the state.
Sure.
The Nisqually Land Trust has been a critical factor in helping us do this on our north side, which is delightful terrain and one of our huts. So that's been a good association for us, and that's part of the training, is that we want people to respect that this is a land trust and it's private land, and we are doing our best to do what they have as their values.
Sure.
And other training that we do is the snowmobile operation. We try and encourage all of our ski patrollers to learn how to use the snowmobiles, even if they don't want to go out and groom. That way, if an emergency arises, they could, hop on one and be able to work with it. And running the snowcats is another thing too. There's probably not more than a dozen of us that actually have had the training in the snowcats.
So yeah, I imagine that would take some skill. Obviously, you're not on the side of a ski slope, downhill skiing, but I would imagine you'd have to have some skills to operate.
Right. The trail system itself is a logging road, if you will.
Sure.
And there's quite a few times you can go off to the side. We've had to pull a snowcat out of the trees a couple of times, and throwing a track is real easy if you just run into the ditch there, which requires about a half dozen people, 6 hours to.
Well, I think I was looking at the Facebook page for the MTTA, and I saw some photos of a track that got popped off one of the cats. It looked like a pretty good challenge.
It really is, and So anyway, those are some of the minor problems that we have to deal with, and the volunteers are always out there to help their office procedures. We teach them train them, if you will, to work in the office, what to do and how to do it, and man the radios there.
So that's a requirement for a ski patrol member, right? To manage the office on a weekend, sure.
Yeah.
We're all required to manage the office 1 day per year.
Well, that's terrible. Just one whole day.
Well, and it's a very important thing to do because it is
sure.
the base, and it's there is some special training that needs to happen. I will say too that the safety backup on these trails is fantastic. We've had major injuries where people are gravely injured, comminuted fractures with dislocations, and people losing blood. And so universally, when we've had these emergencies, the depth of the response has been superb, such as Eatonville 911 helps us with the evacuation. We bring in the snowcat and evacuate somebody as quickly as we can. And so these have gone well for us, and we're proud to have that capability.
Sure. Yeah, those types of injuries are no fun in the backcountry, and certainly you want to get folks stabilized and out of there as fast as you can. Well, good stuff. Is there any other things that a person would need to know to be a ski patroller?
No.
Just fill out the paperwork. I promise you're not buying a house when you do it. It's only a few pages long.
No, really, we appreciate our volunteers, and like I said, we have about 60 really dedicated volunteers that come out. Our requirement is only 1 day a month, but you see these same people out here 2 and 3 and 4 times a month there.
And you should know, and your listeners should know, that no one is paid in this organization. There are no paid people.
That's amazing.
We're all volunteers, and so the entire thing is run by volunteer efforts.
That's amazing. And hats off. I know what it's like to manage a volunteer organization, and you definitely have your hands full. So you guys should be commended for the work that you do here. Definitely. Winding up the interview here, there's usually one question I like to ask folks that I'm interviewing, and if you were doing the interviewing, what question would you ask? I mean, there's usually something somebody wants to say. Do you have anything?
I guess what I would say is, somebody ask, how can I help? Sorry to say that quite often I have people telling me, I want you to do this or you should do that, and that's rather irritating, to say the least.
Well, sure.
And what I want to hear is, how can we fix the problem, or how can we do that? What can I do to help you correct that problem or issue? And anybody that wants to help me do my job or correct the problem, terrific. Glad
Excellent.
to talk to them.
Excellent. Dave?
We would love to get a new snowcat. And these are very, very expensive machines, and we're looking for deals and used and all sorts of stuff. But one of our snowcats was built in the late 60s. And so we're looking at a 50-year-old snowcat, which has been terrific, but it's definitely aged.
Sure.
So we're hoping that we can move things along in terms of being able to fund maybe a used or a new one, but one that we can use so we can have excellent snowcat grooming on both sides of the valley.
Excellent. Well, guys, I want to thank you for being on the show today, and hopefully I can come back down here and maybe we can do an interview on some skis if you can get me on some.
You're on.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Les.
Thank you,
Come
Les.
back.
Yes,
right.
please do.
Bring your daughter.
All right, we'll get her going too. All right, that does it for today's show. Remember, you can check out all the links from today's show at AdvantageSurvival.com. If you have any survival or prepping questions you'd like answered on the show, go to AdvantageSurvival.com and click on the red Send a Voicemail tab on the right side of the page. There you can leave me a 90-second voicemail message that I'll answer on the next show. Don't forget to like my Advantage Survival Facebook page, and please support the show by rating and reviewing in iTunes. You can also support the show by purchasing your survival and prepping gear at asgearshop.com. And lastly, check out my ebook, Surviving a Day Hike All Night, on Amazon. You'll get some great insights and stories of my search and rescue adventures and learn all about surviving a day hike all night. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next one.